Students, the 81 example, Vijay invested certain amounts of money in two schemes A and B, which offer interest at the rate of 8% per annum and 9% per annum, respectively. He received rupees 1860 as the total annual interest. However, had he interchanged the amounts of investment in the two schemes, he would have received rupees 20 more as annual interest. How much money did he invest in each scheme? Okay, student. So now let us see how can we solve this example. So here first that invested a certain amount of money in the two schemes. So here we consider that let x be the amount, let x be the amount invested in scheme A and y be the amount invested in scheme B. So here students, that according to first condition, that interest at rate of 8% annum. Okay, rate is 8% and the per annum, that means the year is equal to 1. So it is the simple interest. So formula for the simple interest, that is a PNR upon 100, you know that. So here I write that x multiply, that is the 8% and multiply 1 and upon 100, plus this is for scheme A and the scheme B. Then for the scheme B, that is the y multiply 9% multiply 1 upon 100. And the investment, that is the total investment, is rupees 1860. See here, he received 1860 as the total annual interest. So here I write 1860. Okay. So now here, that is the 8x upon 100 plus 9y upon 100 is equal to 1860. So now here simplify this equation. So I simplify this equation by multiplying 100. So 100 multiply 8x upon 100 plus 100 multiply 9y upon 100 is equal to 100 multiply 1860. Then here that 100 get cancelled. So 8x plus here 9y is equal to 186,000. That means 1,86,000. Okay. So now here this one is our first equation. Okay. This is our first equation. Call it as first equation. Then here apply the second condition. That is according to second condition. According to the second condition. What was the second condition, students? The second condition is that interchange the amount of investment in two schemes. Okay. So that means the investment, that is the amount of investment interchange. That means here that x multiply 9 multiply 1 upon 100 plus y multiply 8 multiply 1 upon 100. I here change the rate. I change the rate here. Okay. At the place of 8, I write here 9, and at the place of 9, I write here 8. And then what will happen? Then he would have received 20 rupees 20 more. So that means 1860 plus 20. Okay. So now here that 9x upon 100 plus 8y upon 100 is equal to 1880. Now simplify these equations, students. That multiplying both the sides by 100. So 100 multiply 9x upon 100 plus 100 multiply 8y upon 100 is equal to 100 multiply that 100 multiply 1880. So that means 9x plus 8y is equal to 1,88,000. 1,88,000, and call this equation as the second one equation, students. Okay. Now here there are the two equations, and see, observe that two equations as the coefficient of x is the coefficient of x is 9, and that is the coefficient of y here in this equation, and the coefficient of 8 is the coefficient of y is the 8, and that is the coefficient of x here. So here we adding these two equations, that is adding equation 1 and 2. Adding equations 1 and 2. So first equation is 8x plus 9y is equal to 1,86,000. Then second one equation 9x plus 8y is equal to 1,88,000. Then add these two equations. Then here 0, 0, then 2. So 3,74,000. Okay. Then here 8 plus 8, then here 17y, then here 17x, here plus, students. 17x plus 17y is equal to 3,74,000. So then here dividing both the sides by 17, then we have 17x upon 17, 17y upon 17 is equal to 3,74,000 upon 17. So now here x plus y is equal to, that is 17 twos are, and here also 17 twos are. So 22,000, and call it as the third one equation. Okay, students, and then the next step is that subtracting equations 1 and 2. Sorry, students, here 1 and 2. So then first one, 8x plus 9y is equal to 1,86,000 minus 9x plus 8y is equal to 1,88,000. Okay. Then change the sign here. Okay, because it is the subtraction. Okay. So now 8 minus 9x, that means minus x. Here 9 minus 8, that means plus y is equal to 1,88,000 upon 1,60,000. That means, students, here minus 2,000. Okay, and call it as the fourth one equation. Call it as the fourth one equation, students. Then here adding, here the next process is adding equations 3 and 4. Adding equation 3 and 4. See here students, that x plus y is equal to 22,000 here, plus minus x plus y is equal to minus 2,000. That means x minus x, which is equal to 0, and y plus y, that is a 2y, is equal to here 20,000. Okay, so y is equal to 20,000 divided by 2. So that means y is equal to 10,000 students. Okay, y is equal to 10,000. Then here, put this value in equation 4. Then here, minus x plus y is equal to minus 2,000. This is the fourth one equation. Now substitute the value of y here. So minus x plus 10,000 is equal to minus 2,000. So here minus x is equal to minus 2,000 minus 10,000. So minus x is equal to minus 12,000. So x is equal to 12,000. Okay. So here students, we can say that the amount invested in the scheme A is rupees 12,000, and the amount invested at the scheme B is rupees 10,000. Question 9 students, solve the following pair of equations algebraically. First equation is 101x plus 102y is equal to 304, and the second one equation 102x plus 101y is equal to 305. Okay, let us solve this example student. So, but here first there is a trick to solve this example, such a type of the example. The trick is that here is the coefficient of x. The coefficient of x is 101, and that is the coefficient of y in the second equation is for the y. Okay, and here the 102 is the coefficient of x here, and here is the coefficient of y is 102. So in such a type of the equation, to solve, while solving such a type of the equations, then you follow these methods. That the first you add these two equations, then you subtract this equation, then after adding, after subtracting, then you get the different two equation. Then call it as third equation and the fourth one equation. And then you add these two equations. If you add these two equations 3 and 4, then you get the value of the one variable, either x or either y, and then that value put in the another variable, then you get the another variable, value of the another variable. So such a way you can find out such a equations. Okay, this type of the equation. So let us solve this equation. So now here students, first we call it as the first one equation and this one as the second one equation. And then here adding equation 1 and 2. Adding equations 1 and 2. Okay. And then here I write that subtracting equations 1 and 2. Subtracting equations 1 and 2. So that means here 101x plus 102y is equal to 304. Okay. And then here plus that 102x plus 101y is equal to 305. So here adding, after this adding that x, 203x plus here also 203y, and here the 609 students. So now here dividing both the sides by 203. So here 203y upon 203 is equal to 609 upon 203. So now here x plus y is equal to now here 203. 3 is 609. So here 3. And call this new equation as third one equation. Okay students, this one is the third equation. Now subtracting equation 1 and 2. So here 101x plus 102y is equal to 304. Then minus 102x plus 101y is equal to 305. Then subtracting means change the sign. Here minus, minus, minus. So 101x minus 102x. So minus 1x. And here plus 1y. That means the y. And here minus 1. Okay students, minus 305 minus 304, that is the minus 1. So now call this as the fourth one equation. Now we have the two new equations, that is the third one and the fourth one. Then we adding these two equations, adding equations 3 and 4. Adding equation 3 and 4. Then we have x plus y is equal to 3 plus minus x plus y is equal to minus 1. Okay. Then here x minus x 0, y plus y, that is a 2y, and 3 minus 1, that is the 2. So y is equal to 2 upon 2, that means y is equal to 1. Okay. Now here students put this value in equation. Here in equation 3, third one equation is x plus y is equal to 3. So now here y is equal to 1. So x plus 1 is equal to 3. So x is equal to 3 minus 1. X is equal to 2. Okay. So now here x is equal to 2, y is equal to 1. So here see, so we have the two values. X is equal to 2, y is equal to 1. Question 10 students, check whether the following pair of equations is consistent or not. If consistent, solve graphically. So the first equation is x plus 3y is equal to 6, 3y minus 2x is equal to minus 12. So now let us first we have to examine that these two equations are the consistent or not. So how can we find out the consistency here? So here call it as the first equation and this one as the second one equation. So now here comparing this equation with the general form of a pair of linear equation a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0. And here students comparing this equation with the general form of a pair of linear equation a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. So that means here a1 is equal to 1, b1 is equal to 3, and here students the c1 is equal to minus 6. Okay, and here a2 is equal to 3, b2 is equal to minus 2, and c2 is equal to 12. Okay students, now here a1 upon a2 a1 upon a2 is equal to 1 upon 3, b1 upon b2 is equal to 3 upon minus 2, and here students c1 upon c2 is equal to minus 6 upon 12. Now here students see here this is the y coefficient. 1 minute students, that is a2 is equal to minus 2, b2 is equal to here the coefficient of 3. So here 3 and c2 is equal to 12. So here a1 upon a2. So here we write here 1 upon minus 2. Here students 1 upon minus 2. Then b1 upon b2, that is the 3 upon 3 students. Okay, 3 upon 3. And c1 upon c2, that means the minus 6 upon 12. So that means minus 1 upon 2. So now here that here b1 upon b2 which is equal to 1. So now here see students, therefore we can say that a1 upon a2 is not equal to b1 upon b2. a1 upon a2 is not equal to b1 upon b2 students, but here which is equal to c1 upon c2. Therefore, pair of equations is consistent. Pair of equations are consistent. Okay, and so it is consistent. It is consistent. A pair of equations are consistent, and that means we can draw the graph. We can solve these equations by the graph. Okay, so let us start. How can we graphically method is apply here. Graphical method is apply here. Okay, student. So let us see that. So now here that first one we find out the coordinates of x and y here. So first we take the values that when x is equal to 1, then here x plus 3y is equal to 6. That means 1 plus 3y is equal to 6. So 3y is equal to 6 minus 1. So that means y is equal to 5 upon 3. So y is equal to here y is equal to 3 ones are 3 and here 6. Okay, 1.6 here students. Then here I write here in this box students. Okay, that as here I write x, y and the coefficient of x, y. So here as the value of x is 1, then y becomes 1.6. So the coefficient are 1, 1.6. Okay students, 1, 1.6. Then here next one, that when x is equal to, take the value of x as suppose 0. I take the value of x as 0. Then here 0 plus 3y is equal to 6. So 3y is equal to 6. So y is equal to 6 upon 3. So y is equal to 2. Okay, y is equal to 2. So here students that we can fill up this as x is equal to 0, then y becomes 2. So here 0, 2. Coordinates are 0, 2. Then next one, that is I take the value of negative value. Okay, also I take the negative value. The negative value, that is the minus 1. Minus 1. Now minus 1 plus 3y is equal to 6. So 3y is equal to 6 plus 1. So 3y is equal to 7. So y is equal to 7 upon 3. And that means y is equal to 3 2s are 6. And then 3 3s are 9. So 2.3. Okay. So I write here in the table, that is as x is equal to minus 1, then y is equal to 2.3. Okay. So coordinates are minus 1, 2.3. Okay. Now here let us solve this. Here also that I take the values here when x is equal to 1. Here also I take when x is equal to 0 and when x is equal to 2. Minus 2. I write the negative values. So now here 3y minus 2 multiply 1 is equal to minus 12. So 3y minus 2 is equal to minus 12. That means 3y is equal to minus 12 plus 2. So 3y is equal to minus 10. So y is equal to minus 10 upon 3. So y is equal to minus 3.3 3s are 9. Again 3 3s are 9. Okay, this one. This is the first value. Then second one, 3y minus 2x is equal to minus 12. Then 3y minus 2 multiply 0 is equal to minus 12. So 3y minus 0 is equal to minus 12. So 3y is equal to minus 12. So y is equal to minus 12 upon 3. That means y is equal to minus 4. So now the next one, that is the third one, then 3y minus 2x is equal to minus 12. That means 3y minus 2 multiply minus 2, which is equal to minus 12. So 3y minus of minus 4 is equal to minus 12. So 3y plus 4 is equal to minus 12. So 3y is equal to minus 12 minus 4. So 3y is equal to minus 16. So y is equal to minus 16 upon 3. So y is equal to, students, that is minus 3 5s are 15 and 3 3s are 9. So minus 5.3. Okay, student. So here such a way we have the values getting at x, y here. So now here 1, here is the minus 3.3, then here coordinates 1 minus 3.3, and then here for the second value x is equal to 0, y is equal to minus 4. So 0 minus 4 here, and the third one, that is the for x is equal to minus 2, then here y is equal to minus 5.3. So the coordinates are minus 2 minus 5.3. Okay. So now let us plot these points on the graph paper. Okay.